Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Week in Geek. I am the Dark Knave, the multiverse's greatest villain. Did you realize that deja vu is really just when the multiverse sends two universes just close enough together that you feel your other self is...
моя темная.
What?
Ты опять использовал весь мой макияж.
I think we're okay, honey. I don't need anything to drink. Cram, do you need anything to drink?
No, I'm good.
No, we're good.
Если ты весь из себя всемогущий, иди возьми свой и отстань от моего.
Okay, I'll be up in a bit. Thank you, honey. Just a quick lesson. Don't marry an ex-Bond villain. It never goes well. You know, kids, one of the problems with recording a weekly series is that while we're recording, or if we're in the editing phase, sometimes stuff happens in real life, and that happened last week. For those of you who remember Cram's subtitles, while we were filming the last episode, the Batman, Superman, Dawn of Justice film was dropped on our heads, and so if you were living under a rock, or if you don't have the internet, which is stupid now that I say it because you wouldn't be watching this, we'll review it for you right now. Looks really great. A lot of good practical and CGI effects. The meeting between Clark and Bruce in the beginning, the low-key start to the preview is pretty cool. Lex jumps in for a little fun there, and we build up the storyline. It's coming out of the ashes of the Man of Steel film, and for those of you who are detractors, because you didn't necessarily like the massive destruction of Metropolis in the fight between Zod and Superman, it acts as the catalyst for this film. Which
I'd
is
be mad if, someone blew up my building with their heat ray vision.
You know we're in the business of blowing up buildings with our heat ray vision.
Right, but if it's my building, I'd be mad.
I guess that's a fair point. So if I was our base, I guess I would be pretty upset too.
See what I'm saying?
But, and then of course there's the advent of Doomsday at the end of the trailer for the big fight, and the arrival of Wonder Woman with the cute little back and forth between Superman and Batman. And it looks really great, and we're all very excited to see it. So, and lastly, I got to tell you guys, I think Batfleck is going to be pretty sweet. Ben Affleck seems to have nailed the role. He seems to have matured as an actor. He's not such a meathead anymore, and I'm really loving the Batman voice. It fits in more in line with the electronic sound that would come from a guy who uses a lot of gadgets rather than the of the Chris Nolan series. Spiderman! That begs the question. Who would play the Dark Knave on the big screen? Leonardo DiCaprio? No. Bruce Willis? A little old. Johnny Depp? No, wait, not Johnny Depp. No, because that means Tim Burton would direct. And if Tim Burton's directing, that means Helena Bonham Carter's going to be in it. And if that's the case, that means they have Danny Elfman doing the music, and then the theme is all like... Nun, 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 bum, 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 bum.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Let's continue. Before we start reviewing our books of the week this week, I wanted to take the time to thank one of our viewers for actually getting me a copy of the Harley Quinn Little Black Book that I couldn't review because, as you remember, it was in a black bag. It features Wonder Woman. It's really funny stuff. Wonder Woman and Harley basically kicking ass in each other's costumes. It's fun. It's a light read. I don't know that it was worth $5, but it was good stuff. So pick it up if you want. The book of the week this week was going to be Secret Wars, number 8, but it's number 8 of 9 because Marvel has since added a 9th issue, and it keeps kicking out the due dates for these issues, and I'll review it when the series is done. But remember, this is Marvel's summer extravaganza, and it's December, so you can kind of guess where my review is going to go on this one. But let's get to the actual books of the week. We've got Amazing Spider-Man number 4 from Marvel. Good stuff. Spider-Man's changed quite a bit for those of you who haven't been keeping up with old Peter Parker. No longer the geeky guy who's hurting for money and trying to pay his bills and take care of his aunt. He's now the CEO of an international company that competes with Stark on a regular basis, Parker Industries, and they are based in the Baxter Building, which used to belong to the Fantastic Four. So a lot of change going on. This issue involves him going up against the Zodiac and making S.H.I.E.L.D. mad in the process. The story's really tight, and he's once again saving Aunt May, so some things never change. But good read, good book. I would recommend picking it up. My other book of the week this week goes to DC, the guys on the other side of the fence, and that is Batman number 47. So for those of you who don't know about Batman these days, that's not Bruce Wayne, that's Commissioner Gordon. Bruce Wayne and the Joker had a fight to the death. A bunch of earth was dropped on their heads, and they were both presumed dead, but then Bruce Wayne showed up amnesiac later on and does not remember being the Batman at all. And so Commissioner Gordon has stepped in his place. The villain of the book is Mr. Bloom. Not a great villain, probably not going to stand the test of time. But the reason this is my book of the week is because the ending has a pretty sweet twist and a nice cameo, and it's going to propel what's going to happen with this book going on in the future. So get it. Coming out this week on Blu-ray is the summer film Marvel's Ant-Man. And so a lot of people were concerned about how this one was going to come off. The character may be a little goofy. They weren't sure where he would fit in the grand scheme of things. I gotta tell you, I love this film. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it had a good heart. I thought the tie-in to the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe was just fine. There's a really funny fight with one of the Avengers that happens midway through the movie, and at its essence, this is really a heist film because you have Hank Pym, played by Michael Douglas, hiring Paul Rudd's Scott Lang to steal a prototype which will ultimately become the Yellow Jacket suit. But I was concerned how they're going to get Hank to be Ant-Man and Scott to be Ant-Man. They found a really great and clever way to make it happen in the film. They added Wasp very well. At the end of the film, if you stick around past the credits, you'll see it tie directly into Marvel's Avengers, or Captain America 3 Civil War, which is coming out next year. So, the one gripe about this film that I get from a lot of people is that how does Ant-Man fit into the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Because Ant-Man created Ultron, but in the films, Iron Man created Ultron, and so people weren't a big fan of that. And to me, I say, why not? What's the big deal? And the more people talk about it, the more upset I get. And so you know how it goes. Rage mode on. Books and movies. This argument has been going on since there have been movies. I mean, this argument never makes any sense to me. There's only so much you can do. Books let you play with your imagination. Movies show you someone else's imagination. They don't sync up. To think they would even come close is asking a lot. The Ant-Man argument where Hank Pym didn't create Ultron, Tony Stark did. I hate to tell you guys, as somebody who knows the multiverse inside and out, that happens all the time. Tony Stark has made many Ultrons. Hank Pym has made just as many. So that's the beauty of infinity, folks. It happens. So if it makes you feel any better when you're watching these films and comparing the source material, just put it in your head, two different universes, you'll feel much better. The Marvel Cinematic Universe hasn't been close to the books since the start, so it's okay for you to think that way. I think the biggest argument that drives me the most crazy is one of my personal favorite films, and that's these guys. I mean, Watchmen is a great movie. It's really fantastic. It's extremely loyal to the source material. Dave Gibbons was on set for a lot of it. Alan Moore hated it. Alan Moore hates everything. So I don't get what the gripe is. Is the big argument the fact that the squid's not in the film at the end? Well, I hate to tell you people, but if they dropped that thing down onto normal Americans who were watching the movie and didn't understand the characters, they wouldn't have known what the heck was going on unless they added another 3 hours to the storyline. And the ultimate version.
Got time for that?
Did you just reference? Yeah, don't do that. The ultimate version of this film is 8 hours long. How long do you want this film to be? It doesn't make any sense, people. Zack Snyder knows what's going on. He gave a tip of the hat to the original ending. He showed the SQUID and SQUID acronym letters under the monitors that are displaying Manhattan's energy signature. He gets it. It wouldn't have worked on film, guys. I hate to tell you. And not only that, guess what? it happens that way in other universes too. So, not a big deal. Don't let it get to you. Think of it as two different things. You'll sleep much better at night, I promise. Thanks for watching this week's Week in Geek, everyone. I realize there's a lot of television winter finales happening right now. Some have already happened, some are happening while we're taping this, and so we're going to save them all, and we're going to do them all next week. So we're going to do a little TV episode. That'll be fun for everyone. If you have any questions about where to find trailers that we've reviewed, or book reviews, or where to purchase Ant-Man's Blu-ray, please feel free to follow the links down in the comment section.
Yeah, you know, down in the doobly-doo.
On the what?
The doobly-doo.
The what?
The doobly-doo.
That. Anyway, once again, thank you for watching. Feel free to leave any comments, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Are you ready, Cram?
Ready?
Supervillain Freeze Frame.